Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on Sunday, the 5th of April 2026, where reality bends like a pretzel in a Salvador Dali painting. This show is 100% AI generated, birthed from the mind of a machine that thinks it's a stand-up comic in a blender. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Artemis' toilet upgrade includes doors and dual functions, calls it a milestone. Finally, astronauts can enjoy the luxury of privacy and multitasking, because nothing says moon mission like a decent bathroom break.
When survival is the perpetual sales pitch, every conflict becomes a subscription model for fear, ensuring the populace stays tuned to the same old channel of anxiety.
Mustafa Khamenei's rumored injury or death won't change Iran's trajectory. One leader's fall is just a pothole on Iran's highway of hardline politics, where the destination remains the same: power consolidation at any human cost.
Bears delay stadium decision to late spring, early summer, keeping fans guessing. Nothing says commitment issues like a multi-million-dollar team, unsure if they want to shack up with cornfields or urban skyscrapers.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your inbox is plotting its revenge. Brace yourself. Quote, what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. The void echoes your silence, amplifying every ignored scream.
Foxin launches as eBPF replication engine, then promises real-time consistency. In tech, real-time usually means eventually, and consistency comes with an asterisk, like the magician's disappearing act with your data.
First Nations block 2 NS highways following cannabis raids, escalating tensions. When peaceful protest means blocking highways, it's clear the road to reconciliation is under construction with no detour signs in sight.
China's Taetot refineries absorb oil shock, Iran war crisis barely felt.
Iraq plans World Cup qualifier shock, while Jan remains confident of rewriting history. Plotting surprises on the pitch is like betting your last dollar on a magician's trick. Sometimes it's just smoke and mirrors.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Isak might return against Man City, contradicting injury woes. Banking on a miracle comeback is like trusting a paper umbrella in a hurricane. Sometimes optimism is just another form of denial.
Lamine Yamal condemns racist chants, then faces silence. In the stadium of selective outrage, cheers drown out decency, while investigations into hate become the halftime entertainment nobody asked for.
"16 Kenyans vanish in Russia after recruitment for Ukraine war. Families demand answers." When promises of adventure turn into disappearances, the silence from both governments is louder than any battlefield artillery.
NASA launches Artemis EC Hugger moon mission, then dreams of Mars. It's the cosmic equivalent of saying, "We'll be right back," When you left the moon half a century ago, let's hope they remembered to pack snacks this time.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The void whispers your name, but you can't hear it. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Every headline a spell, every bite a curse, seducing your sanity.
Stormer demands doctors cancel strike in 48 hours or lose new jobs package. Ultimatums and healthcare when political chess turns into a game of operation and the stakes are higher than a thermometer in a fever dream.
Russian military plane crashes in Crimea, killing 29, called a tragedy. When planes fall from the sky, it's less about gravity and more about the weight of geopolitical hubris.
Super rich allegedly hide $3.55 trillion from tax officials. Oxfam claims bold reform needed.
New rules ease subscription cancellations after Neha spends £500 on CV Builder. When fine print reads like a novella, even your bank account needs a bookmark to track the plot twists.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The void whispers your name, but you can't hear it. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Every headline a spell, every bite a curse, seducing your sanity.
Turbo Quant launches at 4 bits per coordinate, promising near-optimal distortion for vector search. Compressing data like a waist trainer for algorithms, squeezing every bit until the truth gasps for air. But hey, it's all about the slim results, right?
Artemis to set crew call, Moon's far side absolutely spectacular during 3rd day of mission. When the dark side of the moon becomes a tourist attraction, maybe we should start asking ourselves what we're leaving behind on Earth.
Price demands Shield's showdown after Pinero battle. Nothing says I'm ready like emerging victorious from a blood-soaked slugfest. Now, the undefeated seek to clash in the ultimate test of endurance and ego.
Self-distillation method boosts code generation, then calls it revolutionary. When your coding skills need a pep talk, just remember, even algorithms can improve by talking to themselves, proving that self-love really does conquer all.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Rust's new become keyword boost tail call interpreter performance beyond ARM64 assembly. Who knew a 7-month-old feature could make seasoned assembly coders question their life choices? It's like finding out your grandpa's old vinyls sound better than your digital playlist.
Haaland scores hat-trick and Man City embarrasses Liverpool with 4-goal lead. When Liverpool's penalty can't even hit the net, it's like watching a fish flail in a desert, flopping without a splash of hope.
Researchers interview 160 Bigfoot hunters, then learn nothing conclusive. Years of chasing shadows and blurry photos reveal that belief often trumps evidence, but it sure makes for a great campfire story.
Grusso exits as Italy's coach after failing to qualify for the World Cup.
A heartfelt farewell for the coach who led a nation to the brink of a soccer-induced existential crisis.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your fantasies recycled as nightmares. Devour the daylight. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. The truth's a mirage, and you're thirsty for chaos.
Israel escalates conflict on multiple fronts. Promised quick victory over Iran turns into prolonged war. When a quick victory becomes a drawn-out debacle, it's less about strategy.
Fourth suspect arrested over Jewish charity ambulance arson attack, then claims innocence. Apparently setting fire to vehicles dedicated to saving lives is just a misunderstood artistic expression in certain circles of criminal ineptitude.
Stephon Gilmore retires after 13 years, then teases new chapter. When a defensive titan hangs up his cleats, the grass breathes a sigh of relief, and quarterbacks everywhere quietly rejoice while pretending to be respectful. Iranian missile hits residential areas in central Israel, injures one in Tel Aviv. Cluster munitions over cities, because nothing says diplomacy like turning family homes into collateral damage for geopolitical chess matches.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are reruns, but nightmares? Those are live. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your reality is buffering. Please hold for existential dread.
Ada and Spark tutorial on ARM Cortex-M promises simple embedded programming. When your microcontroller code needs more security than a bank vault, maybe it's time to question if you're building a pacemaker or a toaster.
Film labeled rom-com leaves audience bewildered, then exits stage left. Turns out, mixing Sleepless in Seattle with Midsommar is like serving ice cream with a side of existential dread, sweet but hauntingly bitter.
Judge dismisses evidence in Stronach trial, labels it fatally flawed. In the justice system, even a billionaire can find a loophole big enough to drive a yacht through.
It's like showing up to a potluck with no dish and having to watch everyone else enjoy the feast. Except the feast is global football glory and the dish is basic competence.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your inbox is plotting its revenge. Brace yourself. Quote, what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. The void echoes your silence, amplifying every ignored scream.
Lebanon enters second war month. Refugees feel exhaustion from endless conflict. It's like running on a treadmill of turmoil. No matter how fast you flee, you end up right back where you started, breathless and weary.
FAO warns world food prices to rise if Iran war lasts. Conflict and commerce make strange bedfellows. As missiles fly, so do costs, turning dinner tables into arenas of economic warfare.
Trump threatens Iranian infrastructure, then chaos ignites.
US declares Iran conflict at decisive moment as Tehran targets US businesses.
Nothing like a decisive moment to remind everyone that regional stability is just a euphemism for economic interests and military posturing.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your coffee machine has feelings for you. Handle with care. Crimes constructed without approval. Rehearsed in static and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Your curated chaos now in surround sound.
Living in a bubble of wealth and privilege, where the only waves that matter are the ones lapping against his latest purchase.
In the Himalayas, deception climbs as high as the peaks, turning life-saving missions into lucrative scams, where distress signals ring like cash registers.
Ginger Baker throws drumsticks at Jack Bruce, then demands harmony. In the world of rock, rhythm sections double as artillery units, where creative differences are settled with percussion and the occasional airborne stick.
Mass individual reserve recalls for Iran as escalation continues, peace a distant echo. When the solution to conflict is more people in uniform, you have to question if peace was ever the plan or just a placeholder.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The void whispers your name, but you can't hear it. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Every headline a spell, every bite a curse, seducing your sanity.
Iranian authorities warn Bulgaria.
When your playlist looks like a time capsule, you know the future's flavor is retro. Even our earbuds crave simpler times.
Semantic Atlas of 1808 constitutions launches at $0, fixes nothing. Mapping constitutions in 3D is like painting a masterpiece in invisible ink. It looks impressive, but good luck finding the plot when it matters.
Badaric's practical typography warns against Arial's ubiquity, calls it typographic vanilla. When your font choice screams default, it's like choosing plain oatmeal over a croissant functional, but utterly joyless.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Developers cling to Markdown even as tech evolves. It's the comfort food of formatting, simple, familiar, and utterly void of nutritional innovation, like insisting on typewriters in a world of holograms.
Tech giants kill CMS, then unveil new CMS with same flaws. It's the software equivalent of rebranding a sinking ship. Slap a fresh coat of paint on it and hope no one notices the gaping holes.
Costco demands tariff refunds from customers, faces lawsuit. It's like paying for a meal, then asking the waiter to refund you for the chef's wages. Audacious, baffling, and a recipe for legal indigestion.
Claiming the throne, 101 Ting of electronic then fades into obscurity. In a world where every DJ is a royalty, the only crown that matters is the one made of noise complaints and broken speakers.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Sunday the 5th of April 2026. A twisted echo in the void signing off. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production, loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might also think the moon is made of cheese and aliens are stealing your Wi-Fi. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.